invited to 3 fabulous interviews. I'll be interviewing John Harrison, David Sabell, and Neville Maskelyne. I'm extremely excited, so let's get started. Hello, how are you today?
I am fine, and yourself?
I'm excited to conduct this interview. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm all ears.
I'm aware of the little education you have. How did you attain your knowledge?
I expanded my knowledge by reading, and I also became intrigued by the information I was learning.
Wonderful. Was it difficult for you to apply your knowledge to the inventions that you created?
It was quite challenging, certainly not impossible.
Did you ever get frustrated while creating your invention?
I was more tired than frustrated.
Okay, that's understandable. What do you think about Maskelyne?
I'm not very sure. Maskelyne's intentions are questionable.
When Maskelyne came to retrieve your inventions, how did that make you feel?
I was flustered because it happened so suddenly. I was not able to argue with him.
How do you feel when Maskelyne broke your inventions?
I felt as if the inventions I had hard on were highly tampered.
In this interview, you mentioned that you were unsure of Maskelyne and questioned his intentions. What do you mean by this?
Maskelyne's method of solving the longitude problem is questionable when dealing with other inventors.
Do you think it was fair for Maskelyne to judge the H4?
No, because Maskelyne is a competitor of mine. However, I did not argue the set rules and regulations.
How did you feel when Maskelyne said that the H4 does not determine longitude?
I felt as if he did not understand what exactly H4 was capable of.
Do you think Maskelyne contributed to the longitude problem?
Yeah, by all means. Many men contributed to the longitude problem.
Well, that question concludes our interview. Thank you for your time. Bye. That interview was very interesting. Now, it is time to interview David Sabell. So everyone knows about how marvelous Harrison is and how his wonderful contributions help solve the longitude problem.
Yes, he is quite marvelous. Did you know he solved the longitude problem without a formal education? He was truly a genius.
Yes, I agree, but we will not be focusing on Harrison. Today we will be talking about Maskelyne.
Okay.
In your novel, you stated that Maskelyne was more of an anti-hero rather than a villain. Why do you feel this way?
Maskelyne was not really a villain. He was more stubborn than hard-hearted. The audience has to take into consideration that Maskelyne was Harrison's competitor.
Why did you write with Harrison as the main focus of your novel?
It is fascinating that Harrison could do so much without ever receiving a formal education. He is just a simple man trying to make a difference in the world. That is truly remarkable.
Did you know that by writing with Harrison as the main focus, you made Maskelyne seem like he was a villain?
Well, I did realize that the audience might perceive and note a bias toward Harrison, which is why I explained that he was more of an anti-hero than a villain, and included some major accomplishments in the end of the novel.
As you were describing the event when Maskelyne broke Harrison's clock, why did you make the tone seem sarcastic?
I did insist for that portion of the novel to be viewed by the audience as sarcastic because they, realizing that Harrison was the visualized hero, would then perceive Maskelyne as the villain and then automatically assume that his actions are intentional.
Well, I know that you're trying to explain Maskelyne as an anti-hero, but wouldn't you say that breaking the clock was evil?
Well, yes. I understand that the audience will perceive his actions that way because I purposely wrote my novel to carry that connotation.
So why did you say Maskelyne is an anti-hero? This obviously seems like something a villain would do.
What I meant was, yeah, it was cruel for Maskelyne to break the clock, but the audience has to understand that Maskelyne is Harrison's competitor and he wants Harrison to lose because he wants to win. And although I wrote it portraying Maskelyne's actions as purposeful, it has very well been unintentional.
If you so claim that Maskelyne is not the villain everyone thinks he is, then why did you write the book about him?
Well, even though Maskelyne contributed greatly to society with the publication of his almanac, Harrison is still a winner in his own right. His clocks and inventions won him the coveted prize.
Would you say people who read your book perceived Maskelyne incorrectly?
Yes, of course I do. If the story was from Maskelyne's point of view, then Harrison would be the perceived villain because they are competitors.
How would you describe a villain, Mr. Bell?
A hard-hearted person. Someone without a conscience. A person who does wicked things to purposely hurt others.
How would you describe an anti-hero?
An anti-hero is the opposite of the hero. They have opposite interests and they want the hero to fail, but they don't want to hurt them. Not like the villain does.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Bell. That will be all.
Thank you for the opportunity to finally give Maskelyne's side of the story.
So far, I have interviewed John Harrison and David Sabell. It is finally time to interview Neville Maskelyne. Hello, Maskelyne. Today I'm going to ask you some questions.
Alright, I'm ready whenever you are.
Where did you acquire your education that led you to study about the lunar distance?
I attended Westminster School and Cambridge University.
Why did you believe calculating the distance between the moon and sun using the lunar table would determine the longitude?
Yes, it makes perfect sense when you think about it. In my eyes, there is no other way to determine longitude without involving the lunar table.
How did you feel when you were admitted into the Royal Society?
I felt honored. I felt like I had accomplished something and that my hard work paid off. Why do you think Harrison's inventions did not determine longitude? I tested it several times and I do not think it is as accurate as my method. How do you feel about Harrison? I feel that he is a hardworking man, pretty nice. I have nothing against him even though he is my competitor. How do you feel about Harrison winning the award? I am happy for him. I do feel a bit disappointed in myself, but I am not upset. Do you honestly think Harrison deserved the award more than you? Even though I feel that my method determines longitude better than Harrison's method, I feel that he does deserve it more than I do because he has been working on his inventions for a long period of time. I also think that he worked harder on his model. How do you feel when you became an ex-official member of the Board of Longitude? I feel great. I honestly feel more powerful and that I am going to go somewhere with my method. What happened when you tested Harrison's watch? An accident occurred where the clocks were not treated as properly as they should have been. I sincerely apologize for the mishaps and misunderstanding that my actions were purposeful. Do you feel as if David Sobel does not like you? I am not really sure how she feels about me because I do not really know her personally. I think if she truly gets to know me and hears my story, she would become fonder of me.
I must say that I am sad the interviews are over. Oh well, it's time to move on and come to an end. I can finally get some rest. Bye! I hope you have enjoyed the interviews.